The top story we're tracking this morning is the Mahua Moitra Ethics Panel report, which will be tabled by Ethics Panel Chairman Vinod Sonkar and member Aprajita Sarangi in the Lok Sabha today. Trouble mounting there for Mahua Moitra, the Trinamool member of Parliament. Anytime after 12 p.m. is when that report will be tabled in the Lok Sabha. That report recommends the expulsion of Mahua Moitra from Parliament. The TMC and other opposition parties are likely to oppose this vehemently, stage a walkout as well, and then protest at the Gandhi statue in Parliament. Remember, that report will be tabled. That report has already been prepared. It was presented to the Speaker as well. The Speaker has communicated to the TMC officially that that report is being brought to Parliament. It was slated to be tabled on the first day of the winter session itself, on the 4th of December on Monday, but it's on Friday today that that report will be tabled in Parliament, which recommends Mahua Moitra's expulsion from Parliament, a termination of her membership from the 17th Lok Sabha. My colleague Piyush Mishra is joining me with the phone line this morning. Piyush, good morning to you. Trouble there mounting for Mahua Moitra. It's getting very real because that report prepared by the Ethics Committee, which recommends her expulsion from Parliament, will be brought to the Lok Sabha today.
Well, certainly, yes, the report will be tabled in Lok Sabha today, but before that, the opposition parties have demanded a discussion in Parliament on the recommendations that have been made by the panel. Remember that Ganesh Ali had spoken to media where he said that if the report is tabled, the opposition would insist on a full-fledged discussion as the draft was adopted in 2.5 minute haste. Before that, remember that a meeting also took place on November 9 where the Ethics Committee, which was headed by Vinod Sonkar, had adopted its report where it had recommended Moitra's expulsion from Lok Sabha over the alleged cash for query allegation. It is more than a 500-page draft report which was adopted by the majority with the ratio of 6:4. Now we'll have to see how the opposition today is going to react when the draft report is tabled in Parliament. But yes, we can certainly expect a fiery session as today the draft report is going to be tabled in Parliament. We have to see what more things are going to happen. The Parliament, the government, after adopting this draft report, the Ethics Committee, in fact, after adopting this, had recommended this to Lok Sabha Speaker. We can expect a decision to be taken today only.
Right. So a decision is likely to be taken today itself. Piyush, stay on with us. So trouble mounting there for Trinamool Member of Parliament Mahua Moitra. The Ethics Committee will be tabling its report on Mahua Moitra on the cash for query route today in Parliament. Mahua Moitra is likely to be present in the House as well. The opposition, the TMC, will be protesting this vehemently. It's likely that they will be staging a walkout as well. The BJP has issued a 3-line whip for all of its members to be present in the Lok Sabha today because they want their numbers to be intact in case the resolution that is moved by the chair then upon the tabling of the report is put to a vote. So trouble mounting for Mahua Moitra. It remains to be seen if Mahua Moitra, of course, is allowed the opportunity to speak in the House as that report is tabled. My colleague Piyush Mishra continues to be live with us. Piyush, again, as far as the TMC strategy is concerned, they've been prepared for this for a while, that this is going to happen because much of what's in that report is already known in the public in terms of the recommendation to terminate Mahua Moitra's membership from the Lok Sabha. How is the TMC likely to take this forward in terms of a protest outside Parliament? Piyush, am I audible? Okay, we'll try and reconnect with my colleague Piyush Mishra, but the TMC is likely to go ahead and capitalize big on this because it's likely that they will go to the people. That's what those within the TMC are saying, that this is completely unfair, that Mahua Moitra has been targeted for being a vocal opponent of the BJP. She's challenged the government on various fronts in Parliament, and because she is a known opposition voice, she is being targeted unfairly. That is going to be, of course, the TMC strategy. Today, of course, they plan to stage a walkout from Parliament when that report is tabled. So trouble there mounting for TMC MP Mahua Moitra, who is likely to face expulsion if a decision is taken in Parliament today itself. That report, of course, will be tabled in the House. Let's tell you what ethics panel has in fact said. Let's bring in my colleague Piyush for the moment. Piyush, if you can tell us what is likely to be the TMC strategy, because earlier they were not defending Mahua Moitra vocally, because they said at that point of time reportedly that they want to see how the process moves forward as far as this matter being before the Ethics Committee. But since Mahua Moitra walked out of the Ethics Committee meeting alleging that she was being insulted with some deeply private and personal questions being asked of her, that's when the TMC jumped into action, and TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee was the first to speak out.
TMC was not defending Mahua Moitra, but when Mahua Moitra had walked out of the meeting, a statement was released by the Trinamool Congress. In fact, Kunal Ghosh, who is General Secretary of TMC, had come out. He has spoken to media where he alleged that this behavior is not at all acceptable. And since then, we have seen as to how TMC coming out in open and defending Mahua Moitra. Today, if we talk about strategy of Trinamool Congress, certainly we can expect TMC to seek a demand for a proper debate on this entire issue. In fact, opposition has already demanded that a discussion in Parliament on the panel's recommendation should take place before a decision is taken on Mahua Moitra. Opposition political parties, including Trinamool Congress, they have mentioned that if the report is tabled, then they would first insist on a full-fledged discussion as the draft was adopted in haste. This is what the opposition has been saying. If you go in the background of this entire case, you would remember that BJP MP Nishikant Dubey had written a letter to Lok Sabha Speaker against Mahua Moitra, accusing her of asking questions in Lok Sabha to target the Adani Group at the behest of businessman Darshan Hiranandani. And he had basically written that complaint letter to Lok Sabha Speaker after the complaint which was written by Jay Anant Hadrai, who is Supreme Court lawyer and a former friend of Mahua Moitra. So since the letter which was shot by Nishikant Dubey, Ethics Committee formed, and the Ethics Committee, when it was formed, it started doing its investigation. It called in all the stakeholders, including Nishikant Dubey, Mahua Moitra, Jay Anant Hadrai. Their statements were recorded, and after doing their proper inquiry into the entire allegations, finally the committee had adopted its report with a majority of 6:4 ratio. Now that report is there with the Lok Sabha Speaker. When this report is tabled today, we can expect a fiery debate inside the Parliament, and if it is passed, if motion is brought from any representative of the government, and if it is accepted, then Mahua Moitra can be expelled if the House votes in favor of the recommendations those have been put forth by the panel. So we'll have to see what is going to happen in the Parliament today. But yes, stormy session can be expected. The report was to come on the very first day of winter session, but it did not come. Now, on the last day of the first week of winter session, it is being tabled by the government. We'll have to see how the opposition is going to react, but there is one unison demand of opposition to have a proper debate before taking a final decision on Mahua Moitra.
Okay. Piyush, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. Now, let's tell you what are the charges against Mahua Moitra for which she has been indicted by that ethics committee. Multiple logins. So, as far as her logins are concerned, questions raised, login date, time, venue. Let's go through that. On the 18th of November 2019, question was raised. The login date 29th of October 2019, time 13:34. Dubai, UAE is where the login happened from. On the 18th of November, another 2019, another question raised. Login date 29th of October 2019, 13:37. Just a couple of minutes later, the login is from Bangalore, India. An individual cannot be in both places at the same time. Question raised on the 3rd of February 2021. Login date 15th of January 2021 is when the question was posted. 11:55 you're looking at from Parliament House is where the login was from. On the 3rd of February 2021, That's when the question was raised. It was officially raised. 15th of January 2021 is when it was posted. That was the login date, 22:03 from Kolkata, India. So in Parliament House at 12 noon. And then by 10 p.m. in Kolkata, possible. On the 3rd of February 2021, again, at 15, this is a question raised at 15 on the 15th of January 2021 is when the login was. Just a minute later, the login is from New Jersey, USA. A minute ago, Kolkata, India, the next login is from New Jersey, USA. These multiple logins have raised a lot of questions. Question raised on the 4th of February 2021, login date 15th of January 2021, time 11:55 Parliament House. Again, you see the sequence over here. The same date is when the question has been raised. The login is of the 15th of January 2021. First one, 11:55 a.m. from Parliament House. The second one, 22:03 p.m., 10 p.m., past 10 p.m., Kolkata, India. And just a minute later from New Jersey, USA. You cannot be a minute ago in Kolkata and then be logging in from New Jersey, USA a minute later. So that has raised a lot of questions. Look at this. On the 5th of February 2021, when all of these questions were raised, the login date again is the 15th of January. So you're looking at this sequence over here, which has raised a lot of questions as far as Mahua Moitra is concerned. How are there multiple logins? She did say that she did share her login credentials with Dubai-based business tycoon Darshan Hiranandani, but there are multiple logins from Bangalore, from New Jersey, all on the same day. Now, this is what happens next if Mahua Moitra is in fact expelled. Constitution silent on expulsion of MPs. How is she going to legally challenge this? Does she have the option? Rules are framed for suspension of MPs. So on suspension of MPs, there are rules, but when it comes to expulsion, there's nothing there as such. Speaker to decide on course of action. Remember, the chair himself will be moving a resolution to adopt the report which has been prepared by the Ethics Committee. In 2005, Parliament voted to expel 11 MPs in a cash for query case, a similar case that happened in 2005. In 2005, Parliament voted to expel these MPs after a House panel held them guilty at that point of time. A similar instance which happened in 2005, 11 MPs then faced the axe from Parliament, from the Lok Sabha. This, in fact, was moved by Pranab Mukherjee at that point of time. So this is the last example that exists in terms of expulsion of MPs from Parliament. At that time, 11 MPs faced the axe. This time, it's Mahua Moitra.